Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Mii Weekly, this time for February 26th, 2021. I'm Hero TJ, coming at you from Taipei, Taiwan. Obviously the big story is the Pokemon premiere that we just got, but before we dig into that, there's a few other smaller headlines that I'd like to hit first, so let's jump right in. First up, another edition of Mr. Sakurai Presents has been scheduled for March 4th at 6 a.m. Pacific time, and it's going to give us an in-depth look at our latest DLC fighter, Pyra and Mithra. This will be hosted as per usual by director Masahiro Sakurai, and it also promises to reveal the fighter's release date. Nintendo was also very clear in a follow-up tweet that this will not include any new fighter announcements. So look forward to this next Thursday. Also in Smash news, we've got a new Spirit event. This time it's adding 2 new spirits from Bravely Default 2, and they came out today. It looks like it's based on some concept art for the characters Seth, Gloria, Elvis, and Adele. 4 characters, but only 2 spirits. They're grouped together. We've got Seth with Gloria and Elvis with Adele. Now, I know Bravely Default is a really exciting series for a lot of people. I don't find myself personally very enthusiastic about it. I don't find anything particularly appealing about these spirits, but of course I've got to do my due diligence, keep that collection up to 100%. So I did my duty and handled business on these fellas a little bit earlier today. If you're interested in nabbing these spirits, make sure you do it before March 3rd. For those of you who are keeping track, that is the day right before Mr. Sakurai Presents Pyra and Mithra. On the Animal Crossing front, the Mario-themed update 1.8.0 is now live. It was live as of yesterday. I was very excited to download it and go track down all my super cool Mario items, but alas, I was informed by Isabelle on Twitter that even though the new Horizons free update is available, the Super Mario Bros. Themed furniture and fashion items are not available for purchase until March 1st. But if you download the update, you will receive a free mushroom mural. So I did, of course, get a hold of that. Looks quite fetching in my soon-to-be dedicated Super Mario Bros. Room. But as far as getting those super cool Super Mario items, I guess we'll have to wait just a little longer. Now on to the big news of the week, the Pokémon Presents 25th Anniversary Spectacular. I'm not going to cover absolutely everything here, but I do want to draw attention to the big 3 standouts, at least for me. New Pokémon Snap was featured again up top. We did get a lot of new information for the game, although I don't think it really revealed anything that's surprising. I think most people have probably already made up their mind whether or not this is a game they're interested in, and I don't know that this trailer really moved the needle either way, but at the very least it's a reminder that this is a Pokemon game that people have been waiting for a while, and it is coming out very soon on April 30th. The next attention grabber is a remake of Pokémon Diamond and Pokémon Pearl, now dubbed Pokémon Brilliant Diamond and Pokémon Shining Pearl. They appear to be a straight-up faithful port of the originals, which I guess is great if you're a big fan of the originals. For me, I wish that they would have kept some of the quality of life features that they brought into the Let's Go series. I really liked being able to see the Pokemon in the overworld. I'm a little bit disappointed that that's not here. I find the art style to be personally a little bit off-putting, especially when you have Pokemon Let's Go to compare it to, which I feel like really did a great job of updating the graphics of the original. These squat little renditions of the characters look a bit squished, not exactly in keeping with how I picture the characters in my mind. I did enjoy this game the first time around. I don't really know that it's worth it for me personally to double dip on it, but if you were looking for a way to experience this game again as an enhanced port, or maybe you weren't alive then and you're looking to experience it for the first time, this seems like it might not be a bad option for you. And then the final game I want to cover is Pokémon Legends Arceus. This one got my attention right away. It sets itself up as somewhat of a Pokemon period piece and brings us back in history to a time that we haven't really experienced a Pokemon game. I skipped Sword and Shield for Switch. At this point I've seen it all before, and I understand that they don't want to reinvent the wheel because they don't want to alienate dedicated, reliable, tried and true Pokemon fans who keep turning up for each and every adventure and enjoy those familiar elements. But as an old school player who goes all the way back to Pokemon Red and Blue, I've played through the game loop enough times and I kind of need something new. I think Pokemon Legends Arceus might be that. At least right now I'm pretty interested. We've got a fairly eclectic array of starters to choose from that span the different Pokemon generations: Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet. Interesting that they would choose to go with pre-existing starters as opposed to make original ones for this game. I find the basic premise appealing, and it is presented as an action RPG. And maybe the action element is what I'm missing from Pokemon these days. It does say very clearly on the screen that the footage is not final, which is good because it does seem to be running a little janky, but it also has quite a bit of time still left in the oven. So this is a game that's on my radar. I'm interested in keeping tabs on it between now and when it's scheduled to release in early 2022. Now playing. So it's no surprise that I'm still really enjoying Super Mario 3D World. Now that Bowser's Fury is 100% complete, I've diverted all of my attention over to Super Mario 3D World, which I am really enjoying, probably just as much as I did on the Wii U, maybe even more. Some of that's because of the slightly sped up gameplay, some of it is because my kids are a little bit older and we can all kind of cooperatively play together. I was originally trying to get all the stars and stamps with them, but as the level started to get more difficult, that proved to be a little bit of a strain, so I figured out a new style which was a little little bit more fun, where I would go in and beat the level and collect the stamp and stars ahead of time. And then as a family, we can go in and the goal is just to get to the flag. So it takes a lot of the stress off, and if somebody gets too far ahead of somebody else and we get auto-bubbled and dragged to the front, no real harm done. It's a much more relaxing time. I kind of intended to finish the game out that way, but as we got into some of the later super secret special unlockable levels, my kids just wanted to keep pushing forward with me, and while I was a little bit resistant to it at first, I have to admit they did help me capture some pretty difficult to acquire stars, so still enjoying that game. But I also picked up a new game yesterday, Ghosts in Goblins Resurrection. For those of you who are not familiar with the Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts series, it is infamously difficult, notoriously unnecessarily hard, intentionally punishing and pain-inducing. I played Ghouls and Ghosts for the Sega Genesis back in the early 90s. I was probably about 10 years old, and I'm not even sure if I cleared the first level. It's savage. It's no joke. You babies whining about how difficult Dark Souls is have no idea. I'm just kidding. But seriously, the game is majorly hard, and Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection definitely brings back to life that legendary level of difficulty. However, it also contains a scalable difficulty mode, so instead of just going at it full-on legend mode, you can downscale the difficulty to Knight, which takes some of the hurt off, Squire, which will make the game considerably easier, and Page, which makes the game basically a battle of attrition. There are still some really difficult segments, but in addition to getting a few extra hits, you respawn really near to the point where you died. You still have to defeat all the enemies and you still have to perform the platforming, but as long as you push through for long enough, you're basically guaranteed to win. I did roll credits on the game last night, but before you congratulate me, I will confess it was on Page mode, and I'm not gonna lie, it was extremely cathartic to be able to play through this game that was so unbelievably challenging that I couldn't even beat the first level, and in this version of it, I was able to see everything that the game had to offer, even if I didn't necessarily rise to the challenge. I might go back to it on a higher difficulty setting. I did try out Legend mode just to get a taste of it, and not surprisingly, I couldn't even get to the third checkpoint. The updated hand-drawn storybook art style has received a lot of criticism, but this really does appeal to my personal artistic tastes. I think it lends itself really well to this game. The game is available now in the eShop. It costs $30. That might be on the higher side for those of you who are not particularly interested in this series. The game is short, but it does have a very high level of replayability, but you better be prepared for some punishment. Welcome to Joys and Cons with me, Hero TJ, and Dark TJ. This edition will feature Animal Crossing New Horizons. Acquiring unique items and thematic furniture collections is an Animal Crossing staple, going all the way back to the first game on the GameCube. But New Horizons is the first title in the series to allow players to craft their own customizable furniture collections using materials obtained on the island. Crafting is all well and good, except for when it's not. Like crafting fish bait, for example. Getting rare fish to spawn is annoying enough as it is, but now I have to lure them in with bait? Which wouldn't be such a nuisance if I didn't have to click through 100 prompts individually over and over again ad nauseum. Not to mention of the 600 plus DIY projects, you can only craft them if you've learned the recipe, and the process to acquire most of them is entirely random. Is a stinking pitfall recipe too much to ask for? I've been searching for almost a year. All I want to do is set traps all over my entire island. Quit inserting artificial barriers to my diabolical plans. Island life is a ton of fun, but it sure can get lonely. Good thing Animal Crossing New Horizons enables local and online multiplayer. You can invite friends over to your island to join in the fun. Oh yeah? What fun? Where's the mini-games? In the first Animal Crossing, you could collect NES consoles featuring full games like Donkey Kong or Excitebike. Set them up in your home and get down to business playing the full original NES titles. Or how about Tortimer's Island in New Leaf? You challenge fools in balloon hunts, bug-catching excursions, diving tours, fossil excavations, labyrinth tours, scavenger hunts, hide-and-seek, item matching, even one where you can bust up a remote-controlled toy with a hammer. You even earn medals to commemorate your victories. What, did Nintendo forget how to make island life fun? Each game in the Animal Crossing series has increased the player's role in the village. New Horizons takes it to the natural pinnacle of customization by adding the ability to terraform. Want to build a road? You got it. Want a waterfall here? No problem. The only limit is your imagination. The only limit is your imagination. And the horrendously imprecise invisible grid layout. Want to make a path to your house perfectly line up with the door? Too bad. Want to add a bridge? That'll take a day and an unconscionable amount of bells. Want to put a puddle right there? Whoops, sorry, you missed. Add the inevitable Joy-Con drift into the equation and you might find yourself wasting a whole day just trying to pave a straight road. Seriously, fix the Joy-Con drift already. This has been another episode of Joys and Cons, featuring me, Hero TJ, and Dark TJ. This episode's Spirit of the Week comes from Clockman100, We're looking at number 849, Blathers, from the Animal Crossing series. He first appeared in the first Animal Crossing game, and then most recently returned in New Horizons. The spirit render here comes from New Leaf. Blathers is an owl who serves the villages of Animal Crossing as the museum curator. He accepts donations of fossils, fish, bugs, and art to put on display, as well as offering long-winded explanations or descriptions of the various items in question. To acquire the Blathers spirit in Smash, you can summon him by combining cores from T-Rex, Beetle, and Fishman spirits. Or you can take the shortcut and scan the Blathers amiibo. If you take advantage of Blathers' spirit skill, your fighter will begin the battle with a black hole equipped. Maybe it's because Blathers is a black hole of information? Thanks to Clockman100 for the suggestion. If there's a particular spirit you'd like to see featured as the spirit of the week, leave your suggestion in the comment section below, and if yours is selected, you'll be recognized in the episode with an on-screen credit just like Clockman100. Now it's time to sound off. I know all the new Pokemon reveals are still pretty fresh in our minds, so my question for you is, what did you like best about the Pokémon Presents? Was it a new game, a reimagining of an old game, something super predictable, or something totally unexpected? Join in the conversation by letting me know your thoughts in the comments section. That wraps up another edition of Mii Weekly. For more information on any of the headlines covered today, I encourage you to check out NintendoWire.com, where you can find write-ups from a whole host of very talented writers and journalists. I don't mind telling you I'm not just a contributor, I'm also a fan. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with me. I hope I'll see you again next time. Until then, thanks for playing.